Manga-Waido.
My name is Masato Ikihara. I was blessed by wonderful coworkers, and before I knew it, I was almost 30. Then my coworker, Teppei Ishimori, invited me out to a matchmaking party. This is where I met my future wife, Masaki, and her best friend, Narumi. Masaki and I, Teppei, and Narumi formed couples, and we fell for each other. Narumi-chan is head over heels for you, huh? Yeah, we'll see who gets married first, eh? At first we talked about it, but Masaki and I were the only ones that got married. I wasn't able to ask details, but Teppei said that he was going to focus on his career. He put some distance between him and Narumi, but the two still showed up to our wedding, and Narumi-chan's parents even lent us a room in some apartments that they ran.
I can't believe you would get married before me. I'm happy like it's my own wedding, though.
Thank you. You'll get married soon, don't worry.
I wish I could. If you guys find anyone, let me know.
I think there are a few people good enough for you, but I'll do my best, huh?
Thank you.
That's how we started our lovely newlywed life. Masaki was staying at home as a housewife, and I worked even harder than before. My boss appreciated how hard I worked, and after about a year of working, he sent me on business trips more frequently. I don't like making Masaki sad, but…
It's fine. I'm sad, but I go home to my parents' place and relax, so…
She's such a great wife. Then one day, something unbelievable happened to me. I came home to a dark room after a few days away on business. I'm home! Huh? Masaki? Masaki, what's wrong? Are you okay? I spoke to her, worried, and the next second…
I can't believe you'd have an affair!
Huh? I didn't understand what was going on. Of course I hadn't had an affair. I tried to listen to what she wanted to talk about, but she wouldn't calm down and just kept attacking me. Then she told me that she has a photo and shoved it in my face. What is this? There was a photo of me talking to a woman and inviting her into my room. The person looked just like me.
You lied about being away on a business trip and made me stay home alone. I don't believe it.
Wait, hang on. This has to be a fake photo or something.
How could you lie like that to me?
I kept trying to talk to her, but she wouldn't calm down. And then she just ran out the doors. But I didn't understand what was going on. I just stood there speechless. Eventually, I calmed down and figured I should talk to Masaki, so I called her parents, but… The next time you meet her is when you are negotiating a divorce! Shame! Masaki had already told them, and I wasn't able to get in a word edgewise. I figured my next stop would be to talk to Narumi-chan, but I don't want to talk to a man like you. Don't ever contact me again. But that wasn't…
You're still making excuses? I don't believe it, you cheating bastard!
I'm the one that doesn't believe it. I was completely out of options. I went to Teppei to ask him for help, but Masaki had already gotten to him too. It really wasn't you? Of course not, I would never do that. Fine, if you're gonna be that adamant about it, I believe you. Thank you. I explained everything to him so that I could try to come up with a way to figure things out, but we just kept drinking and not figuring out what to do about it. Look, you just have to keep calling her, you know? Man, being married is tough. I didn't expect this to happen, though. You're not gonna get married? I mean, I want to sometimes, but, why didn't you marry Narumi? Well, she seemed like she wanted to get married, but apparently Narumi-chan was all over Teppei, and she still messages him sometimes. But honestly, I just want a girl in this picture, you know? More wild. I wonder who she is. Dude, I wish I knew. Oh, right, my bad. We talked and basically came out empty-handed. Afterwards, I kept contacting Masaki, but no response. I went to her parents' house and they told me to just go home. Damn it, what did I do to deserve this? It was about a month after my wife left the house. You really did have an affair! And with Narumi-chan! What? Teppei apparently saw me with Narumi-chan, walking side by side, but I'm away on business right now. There's no way he saw me since it was around my main office. You two look so similar, you know? I'm sorry. But why is there a guy that looks like me walking around with her? She's not into guys like me, but guys that are tall and slender like Teppei. Did she change? Wait a second, hear me out, Teppei. Huh? After the trip, I used all of my PTO to go run to a private investigator. I explained everything and gave them a copy of that photo. I knew it. Afterwards, I spoke to a lawyer. I still needed more time to sue, and more than anything, I needed her to make a statement. I can't have her run now. I've got it! I need your help. Is there something I can help you with? You're the only one that can. She'll come out if you invite her, right? Also, can you, I see. So if it goes well, it's killing two birds with one stone. Yeah, so can I ask for your help? It was finally the day to execute her plan. I told her that I wanted to move along with the divorce, so she showed up, although very angry. I got a hotel room just for this, and then…
Why are you here?
Yeah, it's not just him. The woman in this photo will be coming too.
Why would you do that? So you admit you had an affair? I don't believe it.
Calm down.
And you did this with this low-life skank.
Then Teppei's phone rang. Oh, you here? Come to room 402. We heard a light knock on the door after a brief moment.
What are you going to do here, Teppei? Huh? Narumi?
I told you I'd call the skank in this photo. Yes, the woman that showed up was Narumi that was dressed and looked like the woman in the photo. This was all the proof I needed. The mystery woman, the one that sent the photo to Masaki, and proof that it was her all doing, and proof that it was all her doing. The reason that I started to suspect this whole thing was because of Teppei saying that someone that looked like me was walking with Narumi. I had assumed that Narumi, who looked more bland, had nothing to do with the woman in the photo, but she was also the daughter of the building manager. She could copy the key and make it look like someone was coming into my room. I went to the PI office and had them look at the photo. First, I had them figure out who the man that looked like me was. It was some young office worker that looked like me by the name of Kenji Shirai. From the looks of the photo, we didn't look similar in the face, but we definitely had the same physique and hairstyle. They were both in the matchmaking party, and we found out later that they had been connected this whole time. However, from what the lawyer says, I didn't have enough proof to go after anyway. I could have let them wander a little longer, but I wanted to just finish this once and for all, so I had to get her to come out and get definitive proof. That's how Teppei comes in. Narumi loved Teppei, so I had him invite her out and suggest that he likes girls that likes to show off. That was all it took. Of course, it was a gamble, so if she didn't wear the clothes, I had other plans, but this whole thing worked out exactly as planned.
You know we're best friends and childhood friends, right? I wouldn't…
I thought so too. But that's also why you couldn't stand her getting married before you, right?
Huh? No way. It's just the same clothes, and that's not proof.
I have proof. I showed her photos that the detective took. Somewhere she was with Kenji Shirai. You still want to defend yourself? By the way, your parents have been informed and they're gonna check the cameras too.
Huh?
You should just admit this sooner. I think you're gonna find it difficult for anyone to believe you in that outfit.
Yes, I did everything.
Narumi?
Why are you getting married before me? You're just energetic and boring.
That's how you felt about me?
Yeah. What are you talking about? You'll find someone too. Get off your high horse.
What? That's why you kids get married. You're having fun laughing at people's happiness.
Yeah, whatever. You were the one that said you might have an affair since your husband is always away.
What?
I didn't want to hear them keep arguing because I could feel myself putting distance between both of them. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but can I continue? First, you and this guy, Shirai, are both gonna be sued for breaking and entering.
What?
I mean, it's a crime. And you, Masaki, will continue the divorce that you wanted.
But this was all a mistake, so we could just…
Sorry, I'm not into you anymore.
What? Just listen to me!
You didn't listen to me. I'm pissed you'd say that. You only want me to listen when you want to talk?
What?
Alright, I'm gonna talk to you two through my lawyer, so goodbye.
But...
Afterwards, I got things ready to sue the both of them. First, I called the building manager and had them show me the security footage. Lo and behold, Narumi was there with the man, walking into my apartment. You shameful child!
I can't let you get married to anyone. If you want to get married with someone, it won't be with our blessing.
But...
We're getting ties. Just come clean and apologize to Masato-kun!
I'm so sorry!
That's how Narumi ended up confessing. When Narumi ran into Shirai at a matchmaking party, she realized how similar we looked. She started thinking about her plans, then she made a copy of my key and planned the whole thing from the start. After Shirai was invited into her room, she was acting completely skanky, opposite of how she normally is. More photos, then she sent it to Masaki anonymously. Alright, I can sue her now. However, the building manager started saying that he would pay for all my moving expenses, damages, and settlement up front. From what the lawyer said, I should just settle and accept the terms, so I did. Narumi never was convicted, but afterwards, people found out about what she had done, so she couldn't find work. Just like her parents said, she was fired and hasn't been able to find a new job since. I wonder who spread that rumor, huh? Of course, I met Kenji Shirai, but he didn't know a single thing. He just thought that she was into him, so I decided to forgive him since he was a victim, just like me. As for Masaki, I'm sorry for being so rude to you.
Our daughter is innocent, so we just believe her, you know?
They wanted us to make up, but
I'm sorry for suspecting you, but...
that's not all you should apologize for.
Huh?
Masaki just kept ignoring everything I had to say and started going around telling people that I was cheating. Masaki just kept ignoring everything I had to say and started going around telling people that I was a cheating man and horrible. At first, even Teppei was a little shocked, so there had to be people that still believed her. I did not want to get back with this woman. So yeah, don't ever come around me again. I ignored the talk and pushed the divorce through. At the same time, I sued her for defamation and got a lot of damages money from her. A year after the divorce. So, what has been going on with Masaki-chan? She apparently found a new person to marry, but that fiancé moved away, so they haven't been able to get married. Then she found out he was having an affair with someone overseas and she just lives at home now. And what about Narumi? Oh, well, funny you should ask. Narumi was lying about her age and joined matchmaking parties before she was banned from ever joining one again. Afterwards, she found someone, but he was already married, so now she was being sued by his wife. Now she's just struggling because she can't pay off the damages. They're gonna really be best friends now. Seriously! I can tell they're not ones to get married, but maybe that's the same with us. Both of us looked at each other and agreed we'd focus on our careers for a little while. My name is Hayato Ichinomiya. I was raised by a single father. Apparently, my mother left him when he was young since he had a gambling addiction. He's a construction worker, and he would go to a pachinko parlor whenever he had the time. Sometimes he would even spend the entire day there on weekends. Hey, wanna go together today? Okay. An outsider might think that he was a terrible father, but he was also my only father. When I was young, the rules weren't as strict as today, and I would often sit on my father's lap and hit the pachinko slots together. I just thought that those were just games, and Dad was playing with me at the time, though. When we weren't, my father would pat me on the head and smile. It always made me happy, and since I could spend the entire day with my dad, it was a lot of fun. Thinking back on those memories, though, bringing your child to a pachinko parlor wasn't good for my education, to say the least. That was the kind of childhood I had. My father didn't change much, but I was able to go to college. I had a childhood friend named Hana Kano. Hana's family is rich, unlike mine, but we went to the same schools from preschool all the way to high school. But we were going to different universities after high school. Well, being together even in college is strange.
Yeah, but I'm a bit sad, since we were always together.
Yeah.
Hayato, you see,
Wait, I want to say it!
What?
I like you, Hana.
Hayato! I'm so happy! I like you too!
That's how we started going out, right before we were going to graduate high school. I started working in an izakaya once I entered college. The financial support wasn't enough, which is why I had to earn a lot of my own money. It's hard having a father without much money. Hana would always prioritize my schedule when we would go on dates, and I kind of felt sorry for that. But we were happy. But one day, all of that suddenly came to an end. One day, just before I was about to graduate from college, my father collapsed at work and died in the hospital. He was full of flaws, but I still loved him. I cried for the first day in a while that day. But I didn't have the time to soak in sadness. Apparently, my dad had debts because of his gambling, and I had to pay them back now that he was gone. After the funeral, I immediately started working more shifts, but the amount I had to pay back didn't seem to lessen at all. One day, I passed by a pachinko parlor. I remembered all the times I spent with Dad in one, and without thinking, I entered. I felt nostalgic and decided to hit the slots for the first time in a while. I played for a while, and by a stroke of luck, I'd hit the jackpot! I won hundreds of thousands of yen in just one sitting. Ever since then, I would go to pachinko parlors whenever I had the time. I was never as lucky as that day, though. It must have been beginner's luck. But I kept coming back, both because of my memories of my father, and because I kept thinking that maybe I might win again. What am I doing? Hana was the one who pulled me out of that hole.
I know how you feel, Hayato. I also know that you want to relive your memories with your father now that he's gone. But I can't keep seeing you like this. I'm going to borrow money from my father.
What? Hana's family is rich, but Hana never asks him for money she doesn't need. She works just like everyone else whenever there's something she wants to buy. And yet...
Pay back your loan with that money. Please stop gambling.
Hana said that while crying. It made my heart hurt seeing her like that because it was my fault. Sorry, I can't accept, but I'll quit gambling and do my best. She probably didn't believe me.
Then I'm going to live with you so I can keep a watch on you.
What? You're going to live with me? That's how our days living together started. Thanks to Hana, I was able to become satisfied with my life and slowly stopped gambling. After graduating college, I used my experience working at an izakaya to work at a restaurant. Hana was able to get a job at the company she always wanted to go to. I left my father's house after graduating college as well, and the two of us found a new apartment. When Hana got her first salary.
Here, use this to pay back your debt.
No, I can't! I can't just rely on my girlfriend for money.
All right. I'll pay for the rent from now on so you can use your money to pay back your debt, okay?
Okay. I wasn't proud of it, but it was a real help. At the end, I ended up doing what Hana said like when we first started living together. A few years later, I was able to pay back all of my father's debt with the help of Hana. That's when the two of us got married as well. Work was going well for both me and Hana at the time, and not long after getting married, we started talking about having children.
I want 2 kids.
Okay. It looks like our house won't be so quiet anymore.
Right?
But it didn't go that easy. It's no good again, said Hana, returning from the clinic with a disappointed look on her face. Having children is harder than I thought.
Yeah, but it'll happen someday. I got a checkup a while ago, and there was nothing wrong with me.
A checkup, huh? I got a bad feeling when hearing those words. That weekend, I went to the clinic to get a checkup behind Hana's back. The results were... infertility?
Yes, I'm afraid having children naturally is almost impossible.
Looks like I won't be able to give Hana the family she wants. I was so shocked that I found myself back in a pachinko parlor. It was partly because I didn't want to go home and face Hana. No, that's just an excuse. All I could do was run away. And not before long, I was in debt again.
Hayato, what is this?
One day, Hana found out that I was in debt. She had seen the invoice they sent me.
I realized you were coming home late recently. Are you gambling again?
Yeah.
Why?
I decided to tell her about the results of my checkup.
Then it's fine if we don't have children.
But you like children, right, Hannah? You said you wanted two, right?
Wait, did you start gambling again because of these results?
It looks like I couldn't fool her. She knew all of my weaknesses and bad habits by now. What? Hannah, why are you crying?
I caused you so much pain because I wanted children, didn't I? Sorry.
Why are you apologizing, Hannah? This is all my fault. I ran away and ended up returning to gambling, getting myself into debt again in the process, and I can't even give her the children she wants. All I do is make her sad. I'm an even bigger piece of shit than my father. Hannah won't ever be happy with me. Those thoughts-made lies suddenly come out of my mouth. I also cheated on you since I couldn't bring myself to face you at home.
What? No way. What are you talking about suddenly?
It's true, my boss introduced me to some girls and I did it with some of them. Since I'm infertile, I didn't have to worry about accidentally having children, right? Thinking that made me feel so excited. So let's just get divorced, I told her. She stared at me.
What? You're a piece of shit.
Yep, I am. We started working towards a divorce after that. Hannah didn't ask me to pay an alimony, even though it was my fault we were getting divorced. Maybe she didn't want to give me even more debt than I already had. A piece of shit like me doesn't need mercy. Our divorce was a quiet one.
My name is Hana Kano, 45. I work at the advertisement agency that I've been wanting to go to since college. I'm single, and I have been ever since I broke up with my husband 20 years ago. He had cheated on me. Work is going well, but there was something else worrying me. Every day I find a letter in the drawer of my desk. They were creepy love letters, clearly written by someone delusional. What does he want with an old woman like me? Someone from the office wrote this, right? The thought that the culprit was one of my colleagues made me scared, so I asked my female boss for advice. I showed her all the pictures and letters I had been sent until now. Wow, this is terrible. I'm thinking of going to the police? I know how you feel, but the police can't do anything if it's just this. There hasn't been any actual harm, they'll probably say. I see. I was a bit disappointed, but then my boss told me to either have a security camera placed near my desk or ask the higher-ups to do something about it. A few weeks passed after that. Letters and pictures no longer appeared in the drawer of my desk. The culprit might have seen me going to my boss for advice and got scared. I was just glad I wasn't being sent creepy letters anymore. A while passed since then. I was on my way home after drinking with some colleagues. I exited the downtown and there were hardly any people when…
Gano-san!
I turned around and saw a younger colleague from the same department. What? Since when were you… He used to talk to me a lot, but stopped. It was my first time talking to him in a while.
My life was ruined because of you! If only you didn't exist!
What?
Dad!
I fell back and braced myself, closing my eyes. But my colleague never reached me.
Long time no see. It's that piece of shit from 20 years ago.
What? I opened my eyes and saw… No way. Hayato? Yep, Hayato is there. I stood in shock, unable to understand what just happened. What?
Are you alright?
I'm fine, but… Hayato called the police and told the man that was pinning my colleague to the ground that they'll be there soon. And then he turned to me.
Where should I start?
Apparently, Hayato is now a private detective. He was asked by my colleague's wife to do some investigation on her husband, it seems. My colleague's wife had seen one of those creepy letters Hayato wrote for me and realized her husband might be cheating on her. Hayato was following the man and ran into me by chance.
Wow, to think that things like this actually happen.
So that's what happened. Thanks for saving me.
I'm the one who saved her!
Yeah, you're right, sorry. I wanted to look cool, but ended up doing the opposite.
The police came and took my colleague. We went with them and after answering some questions, went home. I found out about this afterwards, but apparently a security camera was placed near my desk about a week ago. My colleague didn't notice this and was caught putting a letter and picture into my desk. He was called by his boss the next day and told that he would receive due punishment. That's why he decided to assault me that day out of frustration. Since it was his first time, the police let him off with a warning, but he was fired from the company, of course. He was also divorced by his wife and made to pay an alimony. Life must suck for him right now. Anyways, I was invited to dinner by Hayato a few days later. I wanted to thank him for saving me as well, so I said yes. I asked him what he did during the 20 years we were apart.
I hit rock bottom after breaking up with you, but then my senpai from college lent me a hand.
Hayato's senpai worked as a private detective, and so Hayato decided to quit his previous job and work with him instead. He was able to pay back his debt, and work was going well for him. But after a few years, the senpai retired from being a detective to pursue another field of work. Hayato was chosen to be the next representative of the company, and here we are now, apparently.
This senpai was always good at judging people's character, which is why I felt so proud of myself when he chose me to be his successor.
Yep, you've come a long way. You seem like a different person now.
Really? Yes!
He also told me about what really happened leading up to our divorce. You were lying when you said you cheated on me, right?
Yeah, sorry. I thought to myself that being with you was only making you unhappy, which is why I thought that making you get divorced with me was the best choice. But in reality, I just didn't have the courage to stay with you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm glad to have found out the truth. And I'm so happy to see you've become such a great person. Hayato smiled out of relief when he heard me say that. Seeing that smile of his for the first time in 20 years made all the ill feelings I had towards the past melt away.
Hannah, could you give me a chance to be with you again?
Hayato. I nodded and held his hand back. That's how we started going out again. It seems that now that Hayato runs his own business, he's a lot more flexible than back then, which is why he now adjusted to my schedule a lot.
I feel like I'm finally the kind of man that deserves you, Hannah. This time I'm going to support you as a husband should. So, could you marry me again?
Yes. A few months after that, we held our second marriage.
I love you, Hannah.
I love you too, Hayato. The two of us went on a huge detour. We're probably going to still have a lot of fights and have to get through a lot of difficulties in the future. But I trust that the two of us will be fine now. It's good to be back together, Hayato.
My name is Yuki Morinaga, 17 years old. As you can see, I'm a Yankee. Today I've come to pick up my friend from her house. I'm nice like that.
Sup, Yuki-chan? Are you here to pick up the Lady Yamada?
Hey, it's about time Reina started showing up at school. She's hardly attended this term. My friend's name is Reina Yamada. She's the same age as me, and we're both in our second year. She's a Yankee, just like me, and...
Oh, you've come to pick her up. Thanks. I appreciate it.
What are you talking about, mister? This is nothing. That's right. Reina's the only daughter of this scary-looking guy, who's the leader of the Manhwa clan.
Let me get an update while you're here. Has anyone been causing Reina problems recently?
No, not really. That's all you ever ask about when you see me.
This is what it's like to have a teenage daughter. What to do. You'll understand one day.
Ever since losing his wife 10 years ago, Reina's dad had devoted himself to look after Reina. He's a great dad, but he worries too much. It's about time he gave her own space to be her own person. When I knocked on the door, I heard a sleepy "hey" from the other side, so I went in. Your room is so pink and covered in stuff. How come you're not ready yet?
Sorry, I overslept for hours.
Hurry up and get changed, yo.
It will be lunchtime by the time we get there. What's the point? We're gonna be marked present anyway. Stop looking so scary. You're ruining your pretty face.
You sound exactly like Takeo. I guess he's rubbed off on you.
What are you talking about? I'm about to get changed. Get out!
By the time we arrived at school, it was already lunchtime. Whatever, it's not like we're ever on time. I just overheard Kondo say that if you don't start coming to school, you're going to have to repeat a year. You need to start coming to school.
Whatever, I'm quitting school. I can't be asked. I'm going to get work experience to become an SE.
An SE? What the hell is that? Whatever. Life's not that easy. When we got out onto the roof, someone had beaten us to it. Oh, it's you, Takeo. Didn't think you'd be here. On the rooftop was a fellow exemplary Yankee, Takeo Terashima. Reina and Takeo's mothers have been close friends since they were children, and the three of us have been close since we were little.
What's surprising is seeing the two of you at school. What are you here for? Did you need to use the toilet?
Something like that. Why do you have a bento? I thought you preferred to eat out.
Look at you, all clued up on what Takeo likes.
Stop being weird. Everyone knows the only thing Takeo eats is yakisoba bread.
Hey, stop it! Oh yeah, Reina, have a taste of this.
Huh? Why do I have to be fed by the likes of you?
Just take it yourself then. Take this egg. Come on, hurry up.
The two of us took the egg he was pointing at and tried it. This is amazing. It even tastes good cold. Your mom's an amazing cook. I guess that's why she runs a restaurant.
I actually made this omelet myself.
What?
Takeo looked pleased by how surprised we were. He began to boast of his cooking prowess.
There's no way a clumsy Yankee woman like you could make something this good.
Hey, who are you calling clumsy? Cooking is easy.
What are you talking about? You struggle to get out of bed. Cooking's beyond you.
You proud idiot. You've never even tried my cooking.
I don't have to try to know.
Fine. You want to find out how good my cooking is? I challenge you to a cook-off.
What's going on?
Interesting. Here are the rules. Loser has to do one thing the winner says. Whatever it is.
Fine, let's do it. Yuki, I trust you to be a fair judge.
What? I'm the judge? I can't be bothered. The following week, it was decided that Reina and Takeo would actually have a cook-off. The venue would be in Reina's kitchen.
Are we seriously doing it here? If her dad finds out, won't I get beaten up to an inch of my life?
I'm sure this is something you'll have to face sooner or later.
What are you talking about, weirdo?
It's just fun to make fun of Takeo. I'm not actually that worried. Reina's dad is at a meeting today. And so, the cook-off began. The kitchen was all theirs.
Each person will serve an appetizer, main course, and dessert. Each person is free to choose whatever ingredients they want. The winner has the right to demand any action from the loser.
I can't be bothered with this, but I'm the judge. And don't think I'm going to go easier on either of you. The first round was the appetizer challenge. Befitting of his small Japanese restaurant roots, Takeo served a Japanese dish while Reina served a Western food.
My first dish is simmered shrimp and koya tofu.
My first dish is a tomato and mozzarella caprese.
All my lady did was cut some tomatoes and cheese and pour olive oil over it.
You stay out of this. I'm letting the ingredients speak for themselves. Try it, Yuki.
The simmered shrimp is a little hard, but tasty. The caprese is okay. This round goes to Takeo.
What?
Yeah!
The second round was the main course challenge. As expected, Takeo prepared a Japanese dish while Reina prepared a Western one.
My second dish is yellowtail with daikon radish. Look at this fatty yellowtail. It's definitely delicious.
My second dish is a matsusaka beefsteak. Come on, take a bite of this marbled meat.
My lady's steak is seasoned only with salt and then grilled. No sauce, no side dishes.
I said stay out of it. I'm making the most of the ingredients' natural taste. Yuki, try it.
Yellowtail with daikon radish tastes good. As for a steak... Wow, this is delicious! Reina won this!
Yes!
I think the ingredients won. The third round is the dessert round. Here too, Takeo decided to go for something Japanese, whilst Reina went for something Western.
My third dish is shiratama zenzai. I've mixed Takano tofu into the shiratama, which gives it more texture.
My third dish is a luxurious strawberry yogurt. Check out this jewel-like strawberry.
Looks like you've taken the Caspian Sea yogurt that was in the fridge and thrown some gifted strawberries on it.
The live-in minion keeps making annoying comments.
Okay, well, let me try it. They're both good. Tasty. Surrounded by friends and Yakuza, I enjoyed the desserts. It's quite a bizarre situation when you think about it. Well, that was delicious. Thanks, you two. Takeo wins.
Yeah!
What? Why? But you love strawberries. Why did I lose?
Cooking is also about the process too, right? Takeo put more effort into his dishes.
Not bad for someone who just praised a Matsuzaka steak seasoned with salt. Reina, you said you'd do anything, right? Anything is anything, yeah?
Oh, wait. Hang on a second. I'm kind of worried.
Takeo-kun, shall I lay down the futon for you?
What?
I'm gonna bring you a disinfected box full of... Why don't you try using it?
What are you going to make me do?
Both Takeo and Reina were bright red and didn't know what to do, but neither of us had any idea at this point. Reina's dad had come home back sooner than expected from his meeting.
Who the hell is that kid? Huh? Your dad? Did you just invite men into my house without my permission?
The clan leader was in our faces. Everyone panicked, but one young member looked calm and collected.
Boss, don't you remember? This is Takeo-kun, son of the lady manager of the Terashima restaurant. On? Terashima?
He's found an opening. Memories of Takeru's mother and his late wife chatting with each other came flooding back to him. Takeru, this is your chance. Time to man up. Okay, it's something I must do sooner or later. Takeo stepped out in front of the Yakuza boss and bowed deeply.
Sir, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Takeo Terashima. Today, I've come to introduce myself. I don't care who you are. Tell me what you were doing here. I was having a cook-off with Reina. I wanted to test my cooking skills. Test your cooking skills? Is that your plan? To become a cook? Yes. When I leave high school, I plan to go to culinary school and become a professional chef.
Takeo.
So far, I've been nothing but dependent on my mother. That's why I want to be in a position where I can help her.
That's what I thought. He wants to one day cook at Terashima. And that's why he's been working on his cooking skills.
I see.
Hearing Takeo's words brought tears to the clan leader's eyes.
I know it might take a while, but I promise you, I'm going to become a professional chef. And when that happens...
You can do it, Takeo.
I would like your permission to date Reina!
He did it! The clan leader was quiet for a long time, but eventually he let out a long sigh.
I don't mind. But how do you feel about it, Reina?
Dad,
Now Reina was lost for words. Jesus, get on with it. Maybe it's time I give her a hand. You can say no, especially after losing the cook-off, right, Reina?
Yuki, what are you saying?
I'm exercising my right to ask one thing of you. Reina, I want you to wait for me.
Okay, I will.
It's turning into a rom-com. Oh well, all's well that ends well. A few years later, Takeo became a full-fledged chef and returned to Reina's house. I was also invited as well, and we tried Takeo's cooking.
Your cooking is better than my mother's. Maybe we should hire him as our full-time chef. Right, boss? Yeah, it's quite impressive. Really.
After dinner, without anyone having to say anything, the scene was set for what was about to happen. Takeo composed himself and sat respectfully in front of the clan leader and bowed his head.
Sir, I would like to ask you once again. I would like your blessing to date Reina. Of course. I trust you to look after her.
The boss also nodded to Takeo. Everyone in the group followed suit, and the hall was filled with applause. Congratulations, Reina. Hey, are you crying?
I'm not crying, dumbass.
1 year later, Takeo and Reina began planning a lavish wedding.
Yuki, you're going to be my best friend's speech. It better be good.
What? I can't be asked to do something like that. And I hate speaking in front of people.
Hey, Reina! Yuki's doing my best friend speech!
Why do I have to do yours? I'm much closer to her. Let's fight for her.
You said it! Let's do rock, paper, scissors! Best of 3! Rock, paper, scissors!
So now they're playing for me, I sighed. You two are exhausting. I wish you both a happy life.
My name is Minoru Hirayama, 33 years old. I'm currently working for a so-called foreign trading company. Recently, I've been entrusted with a renewal project from an overseas branch, and I live my life going back and forth between Japan and overseas. Such is my current life, and I'm finding it very rewarding. It's not easy, but it is very fulfilling. I married my wife Ryoko 2 years ago, and we built our own home. Now we're living a happy life with Ryoko, my mother-in-law, and our pet parrot. Ryoko, this business trip is going to take about 3 months too.
I see. But it's for work, so it can't be helped. Leave the house to me.
Really? Thank you for everything, Ryoko. Ryoko worked hard before we got married, but now supports me as a full-time housewife. Thinking of my devoted wife, I can do my best in any difficult job.
Take care of yourself, Minoru-san.
Mother-in-law, I'm always sorry for leaving the house.
It's okay. We can live well because you are working hard.
No. If you need money, please discuss it with Ryoko and use it.
Thanks, Minoru-san. Even an old person like me needs some money to have a cup of tea with friends, so it's very helpful.
My mother-in-law lost her husband a few years ago. I know she misses him, but she always acts cheerful and takes care of me too. We share a single account, using it primarily for living expenses. I'm not in Japan often, so this has worked best for me. Thank you, Ryoko and mother-in-law, for everything.
Thanks.
Thanks for everything, Peach-chan. Peach-chan the parrot is a very important member of our family.
He's learning to say a lot of words these days.
It's nice and lively, isn't it? I went to Australia on a business trip. I saw him at a pet store and fell in love with him at first sight. And after returning to Japan, I got a parrot of the same kind.
Okay, take care.
Thanks. I'm off. And so, I flew overseas without any worries. The project went smoothly, and we were able to complete our goal a little ahead of schedule. The local staff is also starting to work as planned. Thanks to them, I would be able to return home earlier than planned. My colleagues said they would stay there a little longer, but I was the first to get on the plane. I wanted Ryoko and the others to be happy about the success of the project, so I decided to go home without calling them, as a surprise. But when I got to the front of the house, I couldn't believe my eyes! No way! Ryoko came out of the house with a man I didn't know, and then, without noticing me, she got into the man's car and drove away. I was so shocked I couldn't move from that spot for a while. I couldn't believe it, but I had nowhere else to go. I decided to go into the house anyway. My mother-in-law seemed to be out as well, and there was no one inside. I was stunned in the living room, which didn't look particularly different.
ATM! He's an ATM!
ATM? He's an ATM? No way! I quickly checked the balance on the shared account on my phone. What is this? The remaining amount in the account, which should have been enough, was drastically reduced. Of course, this couldn't be considered 3 months' worth of living expenses. That Ryoko. I didn't expect her to. My suspicions about Ryoko became definitive. I ended up staying at a hotel that night. And I came home on the day I told them I would be back, but...
Hi, honey. Welcome back. How was work?
Yeah, it went fine.
I see. That's great.
Ryoko is treating me the same way she always has. I was tempted to ask her about it, but there's no definite proof yet. A part of me didn't want to believe Ryoko was having an affair, I decided to talk to my mother-in-law first. Mother-in-law? Can I talk to you for a second?
Oh, Minoru-san, what's wrong?
It's about what happened when I was gone. When I said that, her face turned grim.
Is it about Ryoko?
What? Yes.
I saw it. I saw Ryoko walking in the street with some guy I don't know, looking friendly.
Really?
I wasn't sure if I should tell you or not, but I thought it would be better to tell you after all. She's probably having an affair.
Thank you for telling me. When I heard that from my mother-in-law, my suspicions about Ryoko were confirmed. All I needed now was to get the definitive proof. I decided to tell Ryoko I had work and took a paid leave. Ryoko left the house in the daytime, just like my mother-in-law said. As I followed her without being noticed, Ryoko got off at a station in the city center and stopped in front of the station. And there came... It's the man from that time! The two began to walk amicably, just as they had done that day. And then they entered a department store and enjoyed shopping. I could only see them from afar, but it seemed like Ryoko was paying the bill. She was spending for him after all. Enough is enough when you see such conclusive evidence. I rushed home and waited for Ryoko to get home.
Oh, you're home early. Are you feeling sick or something?
Where have you been?
Where? I was shopping.
Shopping? I didn't know you were using my money to pay for other men.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
I saw you. I saw you with a guy in a department store today.
No.
I was overflowing with emotions that I had been holding back and questioned Ryoko at once. Then, Ryoko fell silent and looked down. You were happy I was gone on a business trip, weren't you? Your mother said she saw you walking with another man!
What? My mother?
Yeah! So there's no excuse!
I already told my mom about everything, though.
What?
He's a teacher at the cooking school.
What? Cooking class? At first, I thought Ryoko was making some kind of desperate excuse. But upon closer inspection, Ryoko's hands were covered in bandages. And in the paper bag she was carrying, there were various cooking utensils.
I was thinking of doing a surprise for you.
A surprise?
Your birthday is next month, right? So I thought I'd make you a homemade cake. But I'm a terrible cook, so I've been taking cooking lessons.
But going shopping with your cooking teacher, and you came out of this house together!
He's a friend from a school. His wife is a classmate of mine. He knows the whole story.
What? Ryoko said the man was a classmate of hers at the university, and he had started a cooking class in a neighboring town. Ryoko heard about it, contacted him, and decided to attend his class.
I was just having him look at our kitchen while he picked me up that day.
I see.
And after that, we just went to pick out a gift for his wife together. I'm sorry. I did something to confuse you. I just really wanted to surprise you.
I'm the one who should be sorry. I misunderstood and yelled at you. And so, Ryoko's suspicion of cheating was cleared. But there was one thing that didn't add up. How could there be so much money missing from the account then?
The account shared by the three of us?
Yeah. Last time I checked, most of it was gone.
I only spend the same amount of money every month, and I even used my savings to pay for the cooking class.
Which means... No way! I decided to talk to Ryoko. Apparently, while I was on a business trip, my mother-in-law had access to the account. And Ryoko told my mother-in-law that she was attending the cooking class in secret, and that the man was an acquaintance of hers. Even if she didn't tell me directly, would she say her own daughter is having an affair? And P-chan started saying weird things.
Weird things?
P-chan! ATM!
There's an ATM! Don't come home!
I didn't say that.
I know. That means...
Oh, Minoru-san, you're home?
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
Oh yeah? That's too bad.
We didn't take any action that day after all. And on a later date, when my mother-in-law left the house, Ryoko and I went into her room.
So many brand-named goods.
Ryoko, where's your mother today?
She's going shopping. I think she'll be back soon.
Okay, then I need your help.
Okay.
I told my mother-in-law that we were both going out today, and we'd be back later tonight. I rushed with Ryoko to put the brand bags and accessories hidden in the closet in the living room. And my mother-in-law, oblivious to the fact that we had left, came home in a good mood.
But the balance is getting low. Well, I'll just ask that ATM again. Wait, what? What is this?
What? You bought it, didn't you?
Oh, Minoru-san. I thought you two were going out today.
Minoru-san? Stop it, mother-in-law. I'm an ATM, right?
What? ATM? I would never say that.
I have a witness, right, Pete-chan?
ATM! He's an ATM!
What? That parrot.
I didn't think you were the one spending all that money.
No, that's because Ryoko is having an affair.
That story is over.
What?
I can't believe you took advantage of your own daughter.
No, that is...
I'm going to have to ask you to leave this house now.
No! I lost my husband and I miss him. And I can't show off to my friends in the neighborhood if I don't have brand name goods.
Ah,
Ryoko, why aren't you saying anything? Your mother is about to be kicked out.
Get out now.
What?
You weren't sorry after all.
after all,
She's always been a spendthrift. She used to lie to my father and buy brand name stuff with the money.
I see.
It's my fault for letting her use it knowing that, but you told me, didn't you? You said you'd never do anything like that again when we moved in with Minoru.
That's...
So I'm going to ask you to leave, and you'll live on your own within the limits of your pension.
Don't bother us anymore.
No!
I rented my mother-in-law a weekly apartment as a courtesy, and she was evicted the next day. There were still brand name items in the room, and it was clear that she had spent a great deal of money. I'm the one who didn't notice it until now. I decided to take this opportunity to take good care of the money. Of course, I've cut ties with my mother-in-law, and it's just Ryoko and me. But a few days after my mother-in-law left the house, she called me without learning her lesson.
The money. My credit card payment.
ATM! Don't come back!
I'm sorry.
Apparently, she was traumatized by the parrot. Yeah, it's really good, Ryoko.
Really? I'm glad.
Ryoko, thank you so much for everything.
Minoru-san.
Ryoko, I
love you! I love you!
Pete-chan, don't say it first! Well, it's better than being called an ATM. I'm going to keep working hard for my beloved family. Of course, Pete-chan is part of the family too.
My name is Jun Okada. I'm an art school student. I've always enjoyed drawing, and what I'm particularly good at is manga and anime style drawings. So in high school, I joined the after-school art society. This is when I began to think about how amazing it would be if I could make a living drawing. I didn't think I could become a professional artist, but I did think that maybe some kind of career as an illustrator or character designer might be possible. However, once at art school, I realized how much better everyone else was than me. At university, my drawings were seen as satisfactory. There was nothing remarkable about them. After studying hard for 4 years at university, I decided that I should keep drawing as my hobby, and not my profession. As a fourth-year university student, I began applying to regular companies like everyone else. One day, I was chilling at a cafe after a panel interview I'd attended.
Hey, you're June, right? Long time no see.
The voice sounded familiar, and so I turned around. Hey, Yumi! It was Yumi Matsuura, my childhood friend. Because we used to live quite close to each other, we would hang out a lot when we were kids. But then we went to different universities and started leading different lives, and I hadn't seen her in a long time.
Why are you smiling at me like that?
Am I smiling? There was no way I could tell her how happy I was to see her after such a long time. Did she always used to be this pretty? Yumi was always the popular girl in class. There were even times when I was asked by other boys to set them up. I can't believe I'm childhood friends with that Yumi. Suddenly, I felt very embarrassed, and decided to make some small talk. What a coincidence that we happen to bump into each other like this. Shall we get a bite somewhere?
Okay, where are you going to take me?
Looking back, I now realize that that was our first date. Walking around with Yumi and watching her laugh by my side gave me butterflies in my stomach. After I graduate and start working, I'm gonna have even fewer opportunities to chat with her. That thought made me very sad. I think I like Yumi. That was the first time I understood my feelings towards her. I had a feeling I might never see her again. That's not right, right? Why would I feel that way even though we live so close? But at that moment, that's what I actually felt. Before I knew it, this is what I was saying. Yumi, I know this is a bit sudden, and it's going to catch you off guard, but will you be my girlfriend? It was an impulsive action with a low chance of success, but her reply was,
I kind of knew you from the moment you asked me out, that you might ask me to be your girlfriend. It was written all over your face.
and she smiled as she said that. So, what do you think?
Okay, I'll be your girlfriend.
Seriously? That's great! This is how I started dating my childhood friend. I started to spend time with Yumi, and it was amazing. We visited theme parks, aquariums, cinemas, all places we'd been to when we were younger. Back then, we were taken there by our parents, but now we were going as boyfriend and girlfriend. It was a strange sensation. Eventually, Yumi started visiting me at my room.
I remember this room well. We used to play video games here a lot. Are you still drawing?
Yeah, I am. As a hobby.
Can you draw me?
Okay.
Okay.
Yumi wanted me to draw her as a queen, sitting on a throne in a large garden. I accidentally laughed at this request.
When I was in nursery, I seriously thought one day a prince would come and find me. Hey, don't laugh!
Yumi has always been like this. But this was one of the reasons why I liked her and her personality. Wouldn't it be nice if we could marry? Little did I know that our relationship was about to take a turn for the worst. After graduating from university, I became a salesman for a food company. It wasn't something I was interested in doing, but my colleagues were all nice, and I had decent working hours. I was satisfied with it. But now that I was working, I got to see a lot less of Yumi. I was resigned to this, but Yumi didn't seem very happy about it.
Have you booked somewhere for Christmas? Like a hotel or a restaurant?
I haven't quite decided yet. Do you have any preferences?
Men are supposed to decide these things.
From what I knew about Yumi's personality, it was best to treat her like a princess. Ever since I started working, Yumi started voicing the idea that it's a man's responsibility to take charge of situations even more strongly than before. But living up to Yumi's ideals was financially unfeasible, given how I'd only just started working. Even so, I was doing my best. But one day, she suddenly suggested we break up.
June, I think we should break up.
What?
My prince has finally arrived.
Yumi told me she had started dating someone else. Apparently, he was very competent and worked for a big company. According to her, someone like me, mediocre at both art and his job, stood no chance against someone like him. I had a feeling things weren't going well between us, but I didn't think she was cheating on me. I felt the world around me go black. Hang on a second! Have you thought through this properly? My salary's only going to go up from here on, and plus, what will our parents say? Both our parents were very supportive of us. I was so shocked. I tried to stop Yumi from leaving me by whatever means possible. Nevertheless,
The problem is you're not a prince.
those were her last words. After that, I went to Yumi's house to speak to her, but it was her father who met at the door. Yumi left the house a while ago, and now she won't pick up her phone. Her parents told me that ever since she started having an affair, she stopped telling them where she was going. I'm sorry, June. I promise I'll tell her off next time I see her. It's okay, I don't mind. There's nothing we can do about it. I'm sorry. I tried to show a strong face to my in-laws, but I was at my limit. I know. Let me draw. Since then, every time I thought of Yumi, I would draw. It was the only way I could keep myself sane. I drew with a focus and intensity I've never experienced before. A few years later, I quit my job and now worked as a full-time illustrator. After Yumi dumped me, I drew a lot of pictures and posted them on social media. As a result, within a year, I'd become a moderately famous artist. One day, I received an offer to work for a game company. This was a dream come true. I immediately accepted the offer. Fortunately for me, the game they were making was a huge success, and I became very famous as a result. Even my love life's going well now. I'm gonna get married. My fiancé is the person in charge of making my game a hit, a young director called Sayano Matsumoto. In the course of discussing work matters, we hit it off and began dating. 2 years later, we decided to get married. Just when my happiness had reached its peak, I received a phone call from Yumi.
Is it true that you're Purahiro?
That was the first thing she said over the phone. Pwahiru was my illustrator name. When I told her that I was, she sounded very pleased for some reason.
That game you made was to get my attention, right?
What?
You knew I liked princesses, and that's why you designed those characters. You wanted me to find it.
I couldn't believe this was what she was telling me after all this time. What happened to that guy she was cheating on me with? It was time to set Yumi straight. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm getting married in 6 months. And plus, I'm completely over you.
Are you telling me your love for me wasn't real?
As soon as I told Yumi about my marriage plans, she began to get mad at me. It seems Yumi had become delusional. To summarize what she told me, her lover was very full of himself and would often get into conflicts with his company. In the end, he had a massive argument with his boss and resigned. Yumi had gotten sick of him and had just dumped him.
I didn't expect him to be like that, but now I know. And I think we should give our relationship another chance.
I couldn't listen to any more of this delusional nonsense. I hung up and blocked her. I was slightly worried she might come to my house, but given that I lived with my parents, that didn't happen. But then, the unthinkable happened on the day of our wedding.
June, I've thought about it and realized now that I actually love you. Can you please kidnap me?
Yumi burst into the wedding venue saying that. As I thought. It seems she thought she was the heroine of some movie. As the venue descended into a panic, I calmly walked up to Yumi. Fine, if you insist. I'm going to kidnap you.
This is my June.
I took her by the hand and ran out of the venue with her. This was like a dream come true for her.
Where are we going? Are we going back to your place and then running away to some faraway place?
She sounded ecstatic by the thought of it. There's somewhere I need to go first.
Where?
Somewhere special. I'm sorry, but I have no intention of running away with you. I headed to the groom waiting room. This is it.
What is it?
When I opened the door, Yumi's parents were sitting inside.
June, what's going on?
You think I wouldn't know this much about you? I called them here because I had a feeling you might do this. I'd also already told Sayano, as well as the venue staff, of this plan. I handed Yumi over to her parents and managed to finish the wedding in peace. Later on, after getting severely reprimanded by her parents, Yumi was made to work at her parents' company to cure her of her princess delusions. Nowadays, both men and women must work! As she had very little experience of working, she had a hard time getting used to it. On top of the fact that her salary is very low, she spends her days now sucking up to people around her. As for me, I'm still getting a lot of work as an illustrator. Yumi will always be my childhood friend, and I no longer hold a grudge against her. I'm hoping she'll take this opportunity to grow up. After all, it's thanks to her that I became an illustrator. I look forward to the day we can all laugh about this together. I just hope her personality improves before she dies.